everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. We got everybody in the house, coffee in hand. What's happening, gentlemen?
Just living the dream here in Green Bay.
Yeah. Got the game tonight. Should be a good one.
Yeah, what did you think of the football yesterday, though?
The game you watched.
Yeah, right? Like, I mean, some of them were great. Some of them were awesome.
Yeah, the Jonathan Taylor game you had in Germany. That was a good game.
Yeah, that was money.
That was.
Unless you were playing against him in fantasy football.
Yeah,
then you got owned. But that's true this entire year at this point. The Bills falling apart. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Nope.
No. And how about the Jets get rid of their entire team, and what's the next thing that happens?
They win.
They're going to go on a winning streak.
Right.
That's true, though.
Texans coming back from 19 points down against the Jags. I didn't have that one. I thought the Jags would just be able to just close that game out when they got that big of a lead.
You know, it's funny. Like, you'd like to think that, but the Jags find ways to hurt themselves, and that's been true for years. So them falling apart at the end didn't actually shock me that much. I didn't expect them to have the horrendous fourth quarter they did, though.
Right. Panthers beating the Packers and then going and losing to the Saints this past week and didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny because our friend Sonia is a huge Panthers fan, and she's talking a lot. So for her to get smacked by the Saints was hilarious.
I did see her. The Pantherettes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were doing a lot of chirping yesterday, and then they got really quiet all of a sudden. It was
all
weird.
of a sudden. I'll tell you what, though. I thought one of the most amazing plays, though, was that last play by the Colts that actually got them the win. Because up until that point, was it like 30, 40 seconds down within the 5-yard line, and they were down by, 3 or 4, I think it was, something like that. And that catch in the back of the end zone, I kind of thought he was out at first. I thought they were going to review that, overturn it. But then when you showed the replay, it's like, man, that was a good catch. It was a good catch. Probably one of the best I've seen.
Well, one of the best.
It's actually not dogging on Sonia. You would have needed to be in the group chat to get what we're talking about. And exactly. So Brian here is in that group chat, and she has not said anything since. But she was talking a lot to start the day.
So here's a question I have for you guys. So after watching Stafford throw 4 touchdowns yesterday against the 49ers with no picks, he now has an NFL high 25 touchdowns on the season with only 2 interceptions. Can we put him in the MVP conversation right now?
Yeah, I think he's probably leading that conversation.
Matt Stafford is having a better statistical year this year than when they won the Super Bowl. And that year that they won the Super Bowl was the best season he ever had.
And listen, I before there are 3, 4 maybe good teams in the NFC.
The Rams are one of them.
The Rams are one of them.
Absolutely.
So Detroit.
Seattle's one of them.
They're inconsistent.
Seattle, I think, is one of them.
Seattle's one of them, and then it's the Eagles.
Yeah,
and then we're gonna find out tonight. You know what I mean? Because it's Green Bay's been inconsistent, and then let's see what happens when they actually play tonight.
I'll tell you, after everything I've seen,
the Rams next week is going to be quite the game.
What is that, a Sunday night game or is that just Sunday afternoon?
I thought it was an afternoon game. I'd have to look because I don't remember offhand. I thought it was an afternoon game.
If you could flex games right now, I don't think you can flex until week 13 is when you can flex.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
flex. If you could flex right now, that would be the game to flex for Sunday night right now, Rams.
Yeah, but it would have needed the flex last week.
For sure. Yeah, it is an afternoon game though.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
But hey, a big shout out to my man Chris Nady, who literally he's got the story from hell. It's like he first starts off, he wakes up in the morning and his flight is already delayed 2 hours, and then it gets delayed another hour, and then it gets delayed till Tuesday. And then he meets up with some friends that are having the same problem on his flight, and they decide to get in a car and drive from Newark Airport in New Jersey. And I believe right now they are in Milwaukee, and
with 9 inches of snow, so it'll be a pleasant drive up. It's that one comment that was right there. The Rams versus Seahawks, Eagles versus Lions next week. Number one spot in the NFC is up for grabs next weekend with those 4 teams.
Yeah, so the Lions Eagles is the
Sunday night. So that makes sense then.
So they easily could have put the Seahawks game into Monday night though, because that is going to be a hot trash game of the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, the number the Lions are further down in the NFC pecking order right now, but a win over the Eagles gives both teams 3 losses. Whoever loses that Seattle Rams game has 3 losses, so the number 1 seed is up for grabs in the NFC right now between those 4 teams.
That'll be 2 games that are must-watch TV. Absolutely. Unlike the Monday night game, where if you wanted to go do anything else, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, they'll just go gamble in Vegas during the game.
I mean, not a bad way to go.
Right? Gamble on the game as it's taking place.
Well, the NFL frowns on that.
So does Major League Baseball with Clase and Ortiz.
Yeah, well, I mean, the other gambling ring is still having chips fall. So, I mean, that's going to be interesting to see how many players end up really being involved in that.
Way to throw your career away for $65,000, and now you're facing, 65 years in prison?
Cool.
Are you expecting athletes to make the smartest of decisions with their money and how they do things in their life?
That wasn't just athletes; it was coaches and stuff.
Oh no, the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I still think it's part of that syndicate that was going on with the NCAA and the whole basketball thing. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow or another this is all tied in at some level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, Clase and Ortiz. If you remember that story, they were basically gambling on certain pitches.
Yeah.
Where every third pitch of the at bat, they were supposed to throw a slider in the left-handed batter's box. And nobody caught on, but then somehow that got leaked, and they started watching all of their past performances when they came out on the mound. Every third pitch of every batter they faced was a slider into the left-handed batter's box, and somebody's like, "There's no way that pitch can keep ending up in the same exact spot, the same exact time, on the same exact pitch, unless you're doing something to make it do that." Found out they were betting on those pitches for. I think they made $65,000 on it, but the ones that were placing the bet made over $100,000 one time. And then they ended up with over $740,000 total off of those pitches. But now they're facing 65 years in prison.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite worth it.
Nope, especially not for a guy like Clase, who probably would have been the highest paid closer in baseball history when he hit free agency.
Yeah, and I mean, some of this is true, right? Especially when it comes to the athletes, they're young. They don't think, it's like only other people get caught. So, I mean, that does play a role.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, Bo, you guys got a good team out there in Seattle, man. I really think you guys are the best in the NFL, period. I mean, because when your offense doesn't quite get it done, like against Arizona and all the issues they had on offense, that defense really pulls through for you and keeps you in that. So I just think you guys are the most well-balanced.
The offense wasn't terrible. It was just the third quarter when they decided to fumble a couple of times and throw a pick. It was the third quarter was rough, but otherwise, it was pretty solid effort all around. Still,
that's what I meant. I'm not saying your offense is bad. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that even when you guys, stumble, you're still there. Even when you're stumbling a little bit, not that you have a great offense, but I'm saying, but when you stumble, that defense keeps you in it a lot.
Oh, for sure. No. The defense has been great. I still wish we would have done something before the trade deadline for a right guard, because man, watching Anthony Bradford just miss dudes all the time is incredibly frustrating. Straight up,
I could understand that.
Ground missed a guy from the snap. The guy, you could reach out and touch the dude, and somehow still missed him. Wild.
You think he's part of the syndicate? Maybe he's throwing them. Maybe he's throwing those tackles.
No, so unfortunately, he's been bad for the last few years. I guess if there's any silver lining, he's not getting all the penalties he used to get.
Right.
So at least he's not missing dudes and creating penalties. Although you do have to touch somebody to hold them. So, that could be part of it.
I will say this too though about one of the games yesterday. Also, the Giants and Bears. Even though the Giants lost, Jackson Dart is their franchise quarterback. Jackson Dart's a baller, and if he doesn't get knocked out of that game yesterday, the Giants win that game.
Oh, for sure. I do like that Russ engineered a loss for them.
That he came in and the whole. As soon as he came in, did you see as soon as he came in, everybody on the Bears sideline got super hyped, holy shit, we're gonna win this game now because Russ is in.
Yeah, I mean, he was the 3-and-out, 4-and-out king. He came in and could not move the ball. It was
the Giants had
amazing.
almost 400 yards of offense with Jackson Dart. Russell Wilson comes in for 3 drives, runs 12 plays, and gets 7 yards of offense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was fantastic. I think that almost guarantees that he's done, though, right? Because nobody's going to look at that and be like, oh,
because the Bears defense is not great this year. So if you're coming in there and putting up 7 yards of offense on 3 drives against a defense that's not very great, yeah, people are going to look at that and be like, yeah, he's done.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's really going to try and take a flyer on him after this. Because, I mean, obviously he didn't look good. Jackson Dart comes in, has looked good since he got in there. And then he comes in relief. You can't pick up a first down.
I tell you that he comes in with a 10-point lead with 5:43 left in the game, and they can't win that game. All he had to do was literally get 2 first downs and that in 3 drives, and he couldn't even do that.
Yep. It was actually even worse than you think. It was actually only 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it it was a pretty rough watch. So.
Oh well.
Although also that Steelers the Steelers is a rough watch. I mean, they're making it very easy for Baltimore to get right back into the saddle.
They are right back in the saddle. The Ravens are only a game behind the Steelers now.
You know what I'm saying?
And we said this already though. The Ravens were on a stretch of games where theoretically,
they could win but 6. Rodgers is looking. He is not looking good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he needs his guys to actually.
But Rodgers is just looking bad, man. 165, a touch, and 2 picks.
Yeah, so
well, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You must be lagging like crazy. If you watch those picks, they hit his guys in the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Those picks were not on Rodgers. That was straight up. His guys were dropping balls constantly. So. Right. I mean, I can't put that on Rodgers. His receiving core just couldn't catch a ball.
Also, when that one dude hit Rodgers, I think he sacked Rodgers, and the whole helmet just went shifted about 4 inches that way and came back.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. That is the one where I can't put it on Rodgers as much as I want to dog on the guy. The ball was exactly where it was supposed to be.
Right.
So, I mean,
I got to say the best catch of the weekend though was Indiana versus Penn State.
That catch was sick.
I mean, I don't have any skin in the game, and it would have been nice to see if Penn State could actually win a game against a top 5 opponent. But wow,
that catch, he had both feet in too. It wasn't just one of those back of the end zone. I'm just gonna get this 1 foot down and fall out of bounds. He's like, no, I'm gonna both foot this thing, and got them both down.
Hey, applying for that job he's trying to get. Got to get both feet in.
Well, actually, he didn't get both feet in.
Oh, I thought the toe of his other foot got in.
No, it was his back foot. That first foot somehow levitated.
Oh, really? Oh, funny. Because when I saw the clip it looked like it was just
odd. Did not touch at all. Actually, it looked like it was about to touch, and then it came back up a little bit, and his other toe touched the back toe that shouldn't That was like definitely the drag toe, but
And not only is Fernando Mendoza a first-round draft pick, there's a shot that he's the number 1 overall pick for a team that needs a quarterback.
he's the guy from Indiana.
He's the Indiana quarterback, yeah. Transferred there this year from California. But yeah, he's got a shot to be the number 1 overall pick for the Dolphins or the Jets or the Saints or whoever's drafting to get a quarterback. He's got a legitimate shot to be the first quarterback taken.
You see, the Jets blew their chance at the number 1 pick.
Well, yeah, now they did. Saints win again too, so now they're even.
I was gonna say, so I don't know if these teams have really blown it yet because all the bad teams somehow.
The only team that has the number 1 pick right now is the Titans, but they're not taking a quarterback because they have Cam Ward. So even the teams that are picking 2 through 5 technically are fighting for that number 1 spot to get the quarterback.
Well, I think if you're the Titans, that's where you trade down and amass picks.
Oh yeah,
because somebody's going to want that spot. What do you guys think of Dan Campbell taking over play calling? I mean, it makes some sense, right? Because he knows what he wants the team to do. But, then he goes into the press conference like, oh, no, it's a collaboration and whatever. How can I sign up to be the OC where I don't have to actually do anything? The head coach gets to still.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of teams that do that. Yeah, like the Bears, Ben Johnson calls the plays. Matt LaFleur calls the plays for the Packers.
Yep.
Kevin O'Connell calls the plays for the Vikings. Like, there's a lot of teams that have an OC that just sits there. And the head coach calls the plays.
They run the offense through the practices and all that. I mean,
well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like in a game,
do work, but
like in the game, they just sit up in the press box or whatever, and they're like, "All right, well, the coach just called this play here, so I'll cross that one off."
Well, and you radio down, be like, "Hey, this is what I'm seeing from up here." So I mean, like they're doing stuff, but still, that being said, are the Bills frauds? I mean.
Wait till the New England game.
When they lose, they lose.
Yeah.
Like there's no gray area.
Yeah.
I think that was a classic looking past your opponent game where the Bills just came thinking that, oh, Miami's terrible. We're just going to go in here and beat Miami regardless how bad we play. And then it ended up like, oh, we really did play bad.
Yeah, the Bears are interesting.
I knocked myself out of the suicide pool.
So did I.
Had my third strike.
Well, I only have 2 strikes, so I'm still alive.
Yeah, I got my third strike with the Browns.
Panthers, right? Yeah, so I lost back-to-back weeks because the Panthers decided not to show up.
Wait, and the Lions won, right?
They won by a lot.
That's right, they did. That means I'm in number 1 right now. I've only got 1 loss.
There you go.
There is someone else with 1 loss.
Is there?
There was only a couple people with only 1 loss.
Yeah, I think Bo, Jay, and myself had 1 loss heading into this weekend with, I think, 2 other people. Now Bo and I got 2.
Yep.
Bills.
You picked like 18 different teams before you settled on one, Moose, and I don't have the sheet on me, so I don't know.
See, that's how you win. You're like, I picked them all. After the fact, I will select.
Actually, I feel like you took the Jags, Moose. So I think you lost too.
Is that called covering your bases when you pick them all? I'm just covering all my bases.
Just hedging bets.
No, that just throws a bunch of names in there because you don't know who you pick anymore. And eventually, I can't take them. And eventually, when you get to the first team you haven't picked, okay, I'll take them.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Well, I mean, this is where you're starting to get into that time of year, right? Where you've already picked a lot of the teams that have a good shot at winning. So now you're like, okay, who has the least worst chance this weekend?
Hey, I do feel like that's where you are. Absolutely. Because now you've used a lot of the good teams. Now you're, like you said, you're more down to the under 500s, and you got to figure, okay, which under 500 has the best chance?
Well, and that's usually why, like, it's over by now, right? Like, usually that first loss is what knocks you out. So because you start getting to the back half of the year, and you're like, okay, so of the teams I still have available, the best record is 4-12.
This does not bode well.
Right?
Either way.
Yeah.
Hey, big shout out to the Preston and Steve Camp Out for Hunger. I know that some people have mentioned it over here. I did get all painted up earlier, and to support them. This is usually the week that I support all week long. I wouldn't normally be on because I would still be down there while they're doing their show.
Yeah.
But instead I'm here. So I got painted up. I woke up early this morning. I painted up in Flyers gear to support the Preston Steve Camp Out for Hunger, and then went to go shower because I have to also get painted up in Eagles gear a little bit. And
Well, yeah. Monday Night Football. Let's go.
dun 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 dun.
Hey, gotta love prime time.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, but it's not supposed to be windy, from what I hear.
No, it's 20. It's 26 out right now, but it feels like 20 right now. It's still at a brisk right now.
Brisk? That's not brisk. 40 is brisk.
No, 20.
26 is freezing.
No, that's not. This is Wisconsin here, Jay.
I know, man. I haven't been to Wisconsin in many, many years, so I guess I've gotten acclimated to Houston now. I mean,
this is cold for this time of year, I agree, but it's still brisk. It's not terrible.
I was going to say, it's a little chilly for this time already. Yeah. That was like seeing it snowing in Chicago. I was like, oh, okay, we're getting an early jump to this.
Yeah, it was 37 and 37 yesterday. I think the high tonight is supposed to be down to about 36. So we're still in that freeze warning or whatever.
And then to show you just like how Wisconsin weather is, so it's going to be 38 today for a high and like around 25 for the game, which 25 this time of year is considered cold. But then by Thursday this week, high of 54, Friday, high of 57, Saturday, high of 63. Welcome to Wisconsin, where you go 30-degree inclines day by day.
Yeah, yesterday we had almost 70, and now we'll be in the mid-50s and raining until March.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's one thing I don't miss. I don't miss the lake effect. That's probably one of the most brutal things I've ever experienced is lake effect.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
I think the next worst out of the lake effect, the next worst was sandstorms. Sandstorms suck too, but lake effect, man, that's just because it's cold and windy at the same. Yeah, I don't miss that at all. Yeah, so we get wind and rain and all of that, but we're not generally that cold. So most of the time we'll end up, towards the end of this month, December, we'll be in the, low 40s with wind and rain. So it really cuts through you, but it's not like freezing. Then, generally if we're going to get lowland snow, right, because we have our passes that are already getting hit with snow, but like if you're actually in the Seattle area, your best chance to get lowland snow is generally like February. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, sandstorms are no joke either though. It's the rocks that kick you. It's the rocks that hurt. When the rocks start flying, it was so bad, Bo. When I was in California, I was out at Fort Irwin for NTC before we went to Afghanistan. And man, those rocks, you start climbing up underneath your vehicle because it's just nothing but rocks. Mm-hmm. And you get hit by those rocks. It really, they're not real big. I mean, they're about that big, about dime size, whatever, but they hurt like hell.
Yeah, we'll get some of that in Eastern Washington.
Do y'all get that as well?
Yeah, because Eastern Washington, there's actually a lot of like desert plains type.
Really?
Type
yeah,
stuff.
I guess so. Yeah.
So Washington is a hilarious spot in the way that we have just about everything you could possibly want here. So we have mountain ranges, volcanoes, a desert. We have a rainforest on the peninsula. So, just about every kind of climate you could want, you are about, 2.5 hours away from it.
Nice.
And you got the mountains too. Isn't there mountains in Washington, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, we actually have two different ranges. We have the Olympic and Cascade mountain ranges. And then we have a bunch of volcanoes, including Mount Rainier, which is the biggest one in the States. It's a pretty crazy area when it comes to stuff like that, because literally you could go from a rainforest to the desert within 2.5 hours.
That's it. Yeah, Alice in Chains actually has a song called Rainier Fog on
Well,
their
yeah,
album.
they're from here, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, no, I didn't really. No, I say that because I didn't realize that I didn't know that Mount Rainier. I never heard of that until Alice in Chains came up with that song, and I started looking into it. And I was like, oh, okay. That's when I realized you guys had volcanoes. I didn't really know much about your geography, other than I knew you had a lot of rain. That was one thing I knew about you guys, but I didn't know a whole lot about your state.
Yeah. And no, I don't live downtown. When I'm done peopling, I want to be away from them. So I like the fact that I live a ways out of town. If there's no traffic, which is not a real thing here in Seattle, but hypothetically, if there wasn't traffic, it'd take me about 35 to 40 minutes to get there. But because Seattle has some of the worst traffic in the nation, Seattle can be an hour away from Seattle. So you just never know.
Yeah, I was telling the wife yesterday, Washington is definitely on my hit list of places I want to visit, because you got Bruce Lee's grave there, and you got Alice in Chains, or Lane Staley's apartment, and Kurt Cobain. I want to go see his house. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that I want to see in the Washington area.
Sure. I mean, if you're coming here, then you want to go see the Mopop Museum anyway, because it started out as the EMP, but it's basically just a music and pop culture museum. So it has all that stuff
cool.
in it. Yeah. And
definitely.
Right. We don't get hurricanes per se. We do end up with a couple of small tornadoes just about every year. And we do get hurricane force winds without having the hurricane. Some of that is because of, we'll end up with a tropical storm that'll kind of come up the coast a little bit sometimes, but that hits the peninsula, the outer edge of it, so that doesn't get inland. But we still get incredibly heavy winds. We have the option to get tsunamis. We have an incredibly active fault system, right? Because we're Ring of Fire, West Coast. So we do have that. We get little earthquakes all the time. In fact, our let's see, Mount Rainier is basically has mini quakes all the time, because that's an overdue volcano that will reshape really this entire area if it pops off. So.
Have they ever been really concerned that could be a thing in our lifetime, or do you think that
currently it's a concern, because that mountain is over 100 years overdue based on its history.
Okay.
So it is definitely something that can be a real problem. Like I said, it's the biggest volcano in the U.S. unless you count Yellowstone, that has a super volcano, but its shape is a little different. But yeah, I mean, if it blows up, the biggest concern is how that mountain is constructed, because it's layers of dirt and ice as it climbs. So if that one were to erupt, you'd end up with basically 100-foot tall mudslides that would go all the way to the Puget Sound. So it'd pretty much wipe out everything from the mountain through Renton. So you can be all the way up to Renton, which is, miles and miles away from the mountain. And there's actual signs that are volcano evacuation route, right? And you're talking like, 30, 40 plus miles away from the mountain.
Would that even be something that you'd want to, if you lived in, like you said, if you lived in that area that could be affected, would you want to get volcano insurance? I mean, is that even a thing?
I mean, all of those things are expensive. If it's volcano or earthquake or any of that stuff, like all of that stuff is incredibly expensive to do.
Right. So it's probably not even worth it.
But yeah, no, I mean, probably not. It's probably not really worth it. Yeah, I mean,
that might be the next Pompeii. Bobby running. Okay.
Well, I'm nowhere near. I'm nowhere near
good.
any of them. So I'm more towards the middle in between two different volcanoes. One of them is Mount Baker, the other's Mount Rainier. And I'm far enough away from either one of them that like neither one of them are going to affect me. I'm high enough up that, if the glaciers and everything all melts around the world, I'll have waterfront property. It won't sink my house.
Okay.
So.
Wow. Yeah, I can't even remember. I tell you the worst thing. I don't know what's worse though, in my opinion. Because I look at Katrina, and I can see the devastation that a hurricane can do. Sure. But then I also know Harvey and Allison and what a tropical storm can do. And I tell you, man, I think if you ever get a tropical storm, if it sits there, it will destroy everything. I mean, I have seen.
Well, I mean, a tropical storm is just a hurricane that has lower winds. I mean, that's all it is. It's just
but it sits there like a hurricane will keep pushing, but that tropical storm, it just sits there. Mm-hmm. So all you're doing is just getting pelted with water after water. I mean, I've seen
hurricanes will hang out from time to time too. The one that just went through hung out in one spot for quite a while. It was only moving at just under 3 miles an hour. So I mean, that's why it hammered Jamaica so bad. But yeah, we had a couple of them while we were in Mexico. They came through. So.
I mean, I've just never seen 2-story houses completely underwater. That just blew my mind.
Oh yeah,
I mean, man, I'll never forget when.
In fact, if you want to see some devastation, you can look. Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, just got hit with one less than a month ago, and completely wiped out their entire Molocon and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it hits just that quick. And that's the downside to Houston, because Houston is just nothing but a bowl. I mean, it's a big bayou. That's what's a bayou city, but it's just a big bayou. So anytime that water comes in, I mean, people lose their houses right and left. I mean, it's insane. I remember when I think it was Harvey that came through. I was going down I-10, and I had to push the car because the water got so high, it was up to the hood. And so at that point, the engine just stalled, and we had to push that thing across 6 lanes of highway up an impasse. And that was an experience. I hope we never get another tropical storm. That was just ridiculous.
Well, it's only been 2 years since you had like a lake in your backyard.
Yeah, we had Beryl. Yeah, because we had the 100-year. Well, they call it the 100-year storm, and then you had Beryl right after it. And that was pretty bad. I mean, that was real bad. I know people got like $70, almost up to $100,000 worth of erosion in their yards, and then there were a couple of streets main streets in and out of the neighborhood that completely washed out. I mean, the whole ground just went out from underneath them, and I mean, there was actually a car that fell into it, and it's like this in the street. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah, it's not just that. It's what's in the water. Sharks.
Oh, heck yeah. Hey, no. You know what? Snakes, Pags. Snakes, copperheads, and all that mess.
It's the Sharknado, just chucking sharks at you.
The Sharknacane. The Sharknacane. That's it.
I don't know. Right now we're battling hogs and coyotes. Right now, where I live, there's a lot of coyotes running around.
Hey, well, you know what I learned that in the area of Green Bay, which Dustin is a part of, there is 3.5 cows for every person.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, that makes sense.
There's cow.
Donna asked if I was Houston. No, Donna, I'm about north of Houston. I'm north of Houston. I'm about probably 35 minutes north of Houston, right next to Sam Houston State University.
You're in the land of cheese. Of course, there's a million cows. There has to be.
But there's like Pegs has probably driven through it before when he stayed in Plymouth during the draft. But there are like some farms when you get out into like the rural part of like Green Bay, like kind of going out to the eastern part of the state, where the town itself might be 400 or 500 people, but you'll pass farms that's got 2,000 or 3,000 cows. Like the farm itself has more cows at one farm than the entire city does people.
Yeah. And there's a lot of states like that up in this area. Like once you get into like Montana and Dakotas and stuff like that, like I think that the biggest disparity, interestingly enough, I think the biggest disparity is in Nebraska, where it's like they have 8 million cows and only 1 million people. So
Well,
Jeepers.
you ain't gonna run short of beef, and as long as they don't go mad cow on you, I guess you're gonna be okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, most farmers take care of their animals, so mad cow is a little less.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I know it's funny because he was saying sharks don't scare him, snakes do. But my uncle, me and my uncle, we used to go shark hunting all the time. We'd go down to Galveston, and he'd get that little green boat and had the little thing, and we put your hook on it, and he'd run it out about a few miles and drop that, and we catch those sharks right off the sandbar all the time. It was a lot of fun. I just don't like snakes. I'm not a big fan of snakes.
Snakes are great.
Yeah, okay. You say that until you get bit, and then you ain't saying that no more.
No, I didn't say you had to play with the snake. I just said snakes are great.
Oh no, they hide. They hide. They hide in your bushes. They hide in your flower beds. They're all over the place.
We have snakes here, not the kind of snakes you have down there, but we still have snakes up here.
yeah, they're called big worms.
We have timber rattlers. We have timber rattlers up here. Timber rattlers are very good at hiding.
Yeah, we got a lot of timber rattlers. You can't kill timber rattlers here. It's endangered. So if you get caught killing a timber rattler, you're screwed.
Well, I would definitely throw it in the trash if I killed one.
Oh yeah. There was a lady yesterday who said she thought she saw a black bear here, and that's rare to see an East Texas black bear. Come to find out, it wasn't a bear; it was just a huge freaking hog.
It was just Jay running around.
I mean, it was huge. Is that what it was? Yeah. No, they showed the picture. They killed it. They found the hog and killed it, and it took up the whole bed of the truck. I mean, I don't know how they got that. The guy had a forklift, and he forklifted it into a truck, and then they hauled it away. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was huge. Bo, this thing was huge. You could have put saddlebags on it and rode it like a dog.
It was a wild hog.
Yeah, it was a wild hog. Mm-hmm. She thought it was a bear. That's how big it was. At first, she thought it was a bear, and then but they have trail cams. Everybody has trail cams out here, and so when they went back to look at the trail cam, it wasn't a bear. It was actually a hog.
A lot of bacon.
Oh, it's a lot of bacon. I don't think you want that bacon though, because I'm pretty sure the toxins got in that thing.
How do you know?
Oh no, because I think the way there's a logistics behind it, but I think when you shoot it, if it doesn't drop right away, or if you startle it before you shoot it, it releases a chemical that runs through the meat, and it taints the meat, and you can't eat it. So if you want to kill it, you got to make sure you get a good shot on it, so you don't get that toxin that runs through their muscles.
And of course, if you're watching, you can do the prop bet on whether or not Jay can talk about sports. You can use the QR code on the screen. Free 3. You know what? Jay's messed me up so bad I can't even get through the commercial.
It's Monday.
What the hell did I do, man? I told you it's that damn chair. Y'all don't believe me. It's that damn chair. One day somebody's gonna believe me on that.
Exactly. Sports and agriculture.
Hey, but in my defense, y'all were running with it. I just chimed in. That's all.
Well, we were talking about cows.
Yeah, that's true.
Lots of cows.
So
Well, I'm sure you got lots of good cheese up there.
I've had a couple of good cheese curds. I now understand what they mean with the squeaky curds.
Yes. When you get them fresh at like the cheese store, nice and cold.
Well, I haven't had the cold cheese curds. They've been cooked.
Have you you haven't had the Butterburger yet, have you?
I've had a Butterburger.
Not from Culver's, because that's bullshit. You got to go to the mom and pops and get the Butterburger at the mom and pops. That's the best one.
You know what, Pegs? Before I meet you for lunch today, I'm going to buy you a package of cold cheese curds so you can taste what fresh cheese curds taste like.
I wouldn't trust me a thing came out of it, man, but okay.
Perfect.
I have the
Actually,
cheese board right
I'm here at they have a hotel bar here, obviously, and it's actually called the Social. There's been some people that have come in here before and stuff. They've got really good cheese curds here,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not
Wait,
it's
what is
not
it?
just your run of the mill.
What is the
Called the
bar called?
Social.
The social.
Social.
How far are you
is it
from the
home field? Is it
stadium?
home field?
Say again. I didn't
Is it
hear
home
over.
field? Is it home field pub and social?
I don't know. It's at the Hyatt.
Okay.
I think I'm at the Hyatt. I'm at the Hyatt.
How far are you from the stadium?
Not far in the grand scheme of things. Probably like 7 minutes, 10 minutes down the road, I guess. I'm right near Titletown Brewing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, he's like kind of in the. He's actually like in the outskirts of downtown Green Bay, so he's not like where Lambeau is, which is in like the neighborhood. He's in downtown Green Bay area.
Yeah, they have like what looks like offices, I guess.
Yeah.
So did you get to go explore a little bit last night, Pags, while you were there?
I mean, we went and did the tour of Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
You know, did that, and then went to where did we go? I don't know. I did more touring on Friday night
Okay.
when I went to the Drift Inn, and then we went. They have a great old school arcade bar
Nice.
with like arcade games from like the early '80s, like Q*bert and
Yes.
Funny.
yeah. Oh, and they give you tokens to play, so everything's still a quarter, which is amazing because you know it's like, oh,
Because everything
what
is
can you do for a
expensive.
quarter, right? And they had the old track and field game, the old Tron.
Oh, hell
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
That one where you could
Yeah.
tear a rotator cuff spinning the ball on that track and field, that was awesome. I love that stuff.
No, that wasn't that. You had to hit the buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You
right.
had to make them run.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That one
Yeah.
gives you a nice little hand workout.
I bet it does, Dustin. I bet it does.
We have a bar, like a place both in Green Bay and Appleton called the Arcade Bar, and all the arcade bars like these classic 1980s arcade games, and you get to spend, and all of them cost a quarter. So you just go there, but put $5 in the machine to get all quarters, and you just play all these vintage arcade games. It's awesome.
I like the little karate kid, ninja kid. That he would go back and forth. You could kick it or punch it. I forget the name
Yes.
of that game.
Oh, they have it there. They had it
Did
there.
they have that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
when they're
bomb.
digitized. They had the old punch out.
Nice.
Oh, that would be nice. Oh, I would
Yeah,
love that punch out.
Yeah, I got to Kid Quick. I was able to get to like the fourth boxer, and then I couldn't get past him. Yeah, the cream
Nice.
cheese heads on the news. I would have brought mine with me, except for the fact that it was literally bigger than my suitcase.
Yeah. So 1941. It also makes me think they should have had Top Gun, because you could beat the whole level and then you'd crash trying to land the plane.
I had 19. I loved the game 1941, and no, they did not have it. I would have spent a lot of time on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Top Gun and in our local Pizza Hut stole a lot of quarters from me.
What was it? Battlestar Galactica? I used to love that one too. Space Invaders.
Area 51 steals my quarters.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Area 51 steals too many quarters when I go to the arcade bar.
What about the old Frogger game? They have the old Frogger. I used to love.
Yeah, they have
Yes,
the old
they did.
Frogger.
Did they? Yeah,
They got the Frogger game. There was Pac-Man there. They also it's. I mean, they have pinball machines and stuff like that. The pinball machines cost 50 cents. Interestingly enough,
That's
But
weird.
they had like the old Burger Time, Blitz,
Oh,
NFL Blitz,
Yes.
WrestleMania, and then Wrestle something else. It's like Wrestling Extreme. It was like when they still called the WWF.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's back when Hacksaw Jim Duggan was wrestling.
We had what's the one game called? We had Wreck-It Ralph and then the Tapper game.
Yep.
We
Yep.
have that
It had
game
the tapper and it had because it was the tapper where you're
Oh, yeah,
filling up the
surprising.
things, or it's the where you're the bartender and you're going and serving the
Yep.
beers.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Then
miss
there's
those.
Centipede and Arkanoid, where you had that's where the little dial and stuff like that was.
Asteroids.
The other one I used to spend a lot of money on was Hard Driving, where it was like the graphics were terrible, but it was the first one that had like the actual gear shift.
Okay.
But that one was in our like local hockey area.
Okay.
So it was an arena that was close enough to my house that I could walk there, and so I ended up dumping a bunch in that one too.
They even had the Mario Brothers game there, Joe.
Nice.
So yes, you could have played. They had a couple of skee balls. Yes, I played Dig Dug too.
Nice.
Dig Dug was there. Qbert was there.
Kirby.
Who?
The game Kirby, was that there?
No, that'd be
never
way
heard
too
of
new. For the era
No.
that he's talking about, that'd be way too new.
Yeah, Kirby was not there. You know what else? What I was looking for? I was looking for Dragon's Lair.
Oh, that'd have
They
been a
didn't
good one.
have.
That'd have been a
They
good
didn't
one.
have that game there. Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all the games I remember. Okay. Oh, Galaxa.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a pole position or something like
Yeah,
that.
pole position.
Yeah, I remember pole position. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That's the one where you can have multiplayers on there.
They didn't have pole position, but they did have this game called Taxi Driver or Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi.
Mm.
Crazy
Yeah,
Taxi's great.
Oh, they've ever heard of that?
Big Arrow and
Excuse me. I don't think I've ever heard of Crazy Taxi. That's a
I think that is the main theme of this conversation. Yeah.
Crazy Taxi was a great game, though.
Hey, look, you know you're old when you legitimately remember when Atari came out and when they had the Apple computer in your elementary school, but you could only play it every once in a great while because not everybody got to deal with floppy disks. That's how you know you're old. You know, that's when you know you're old.
Right.
Yeah, so Moose,
Officially.
that was Hard Driving. Hard Driving was the one that had the and it basically had two different tracks. One was like a racetrack, and the other one had like a loop-de-loop that you'd go through.
Yeah. Is that the one that had the black knob and then like plastic knob? It had like a long stem off the knob that you would use as a gear shifter. I'm trying to think if that's the one I played. Yeah.
But
it was a very antiquated knob. Like it wasn't like.
Well, it's an Atari
might be a
game.
different
Like,
game.
they weren't
Yeah.
fancy anyway. But the thing that was interesting about that one is it actually had a clutch. You actually had to use the clutch to shift.
Right. Man, I miss those days. Yeah.
Floppy disks.
yeah, floppy disks does make you feel old.
Yeah. Well, especially what really makes you feel old is the fact that your cell phone has about 1 million times more computing power than the computers you used as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
64s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because everything was DOS and all that antiquated stuff.
No.
back
They
in
just
those
didn't have the
days. Yeah.
memory. Like your phone
that
has
too.
so much
Yeah.
more memory
Bill Gates at one point said out loud that nobody would ever need more than 64 kilobytes of memory. Ever.
Huh. He's wrong on that one.
He was wrong.
Yep.
Typing class on type. I hated typing class.
Typing class is great.
Really?
Yeah, it makes sense you'd like that.
Typing class is great because you really didn't have to do anything. You just typed on the keyboard.
Yeah, but
I
we're talking
typed
about Jay. He was
2
doing
words
this.
a day.
I thought he was doing that. If you would properly learn how to touch type, you would be poking at the keyboard.
He still doesn't do that. I've never seen him type, and I can guarantee he still does this.
Just get him a typewriter, then I'll be fine.
No, you're supposed to know more later today, Brad.
I mean, Dart's just got a concussion, so he'll probably be just see how he is by Friday. If he's good to go, he plays Sunday. If not, he sits.
Yeah, supposedly he's supposed to have further evaluation today, though.
Yeah.
So should know more about the potential timeline. Because like some of those concussions, they're like, yeah, you're just not doing anything this week.
Right.
So we'll see what they find from there.
But it makes you think, even with the mild ones, if they let you play with the mild ones like that, that's just a classic way to build up even more of that CTE we were talking about the other day with Antonio Brown and all of them. I feel like, if you don't cut the proper amount of time coming back, I mean, how much damage are you doing to your brain?
That's a very different style hit, though. So his head just hit the ground. So it's not going to be like a horrendous one. Whereas Antonio Brown, Perfect tried to remove his head from his body.
Yeah,
so that's a wildly different type of hit.
Yeah.
Jay doesn't watch sports.
Is that going to be a problem with Jackson Dart? Like, do you think that he's going to go the way of the guy in Miami?
Tua?
No, I don't think he's.
Because Tua, a lot of the hits that Tua takes are like in the pocket hits because his offensive line has been so terrible for so long, versus a lot of the hits that Jackson Dart takes are when he's running just because he doesn't either know how to slide or he just doesn't like to slide. I think it's going to get to the point where the Giants are going to be like, okay, running is a massive part of your game, but you need to slide. No more of this trying to take on 2 or 3 guys by yourself and taking the extra hits. Just get down and take the 7 yards. Don't go for the 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the way that he was whipped down. So it's not even like it was anything crazy. Like
no, that's what I'm saying. Right
anything.
now, I don't see them changing his play style just because that's who he is. But if he keeps playing this way, the way that he has been playing, and he takes like another 2 concussions, I think the Giants will be like, if you're going to run, that's fine. Just get down. Take the 7 yards. Don't go for the 10, 11, 12 yards. Just take the 7 yards if you see a guy coming towards you.
Man, Donna talking all that smack today.
I know, right?
Donna? I thought we were friends. What the hell?
Bring in the heaters. I like it.
She's
Yeah, Deron Payne got suspended for the Commanders for punching Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you knew he was going to get suspended because he wound up to swing, right? And I'll be surprised if there's not a potential for the other guy that ended up kind of smacking a ref in the face. Also from the Commanders, incidentally.
Yeah.
So.
The Commanders have packed it in for the year.
I mean, rightfully so. I mean, when you got that much injuries on your team, why? And you don't really have a logistical shot at it. We said, Jimmy, what the hell?
I mean,
I just think he's catching strays all over the place now.
Man, dang.
Jay, I get that they're like out of it from all accounts, but still, at least put on somewhat of a decent product. Don't like make it look like you're quitting on the fans. Just go out there and at least put somewhat of a decent product on. Like Commanders right now are just.
I don't know. I think if I'm a Commanders fan, I'm probably saying like, look, let's not destroy any more of our players if we don't have to. I mean, let's fight next year.
No, see, the thing is even when people are like, oh, these teams are tanking or whatever, it's hard to get the players to do that because if you put out bad tape, you lose your job. Yeah. And you don't just lose it on the team you're on. You may not be in the league anymore.
For sure.
So it's hard to get players to want to be like, oh yeah, let me just suck out there. You know, the ones that suck on tape are just because they're not great. Like like had I put together another you know, sad compilation for Anthony Bradford. Because man. Yep.
Yeah. You know, it's days like this, I wish I had D-Law back on the Cowboys. That'd be really nice. Might actually have some sort of a defense, maybe some more of an edge rush.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Nah,
yeah, they would still suck.
Yeah, no, it's a wrap for you guys. Like it's
it really is. And you know, again though, but you know, the one thing I take away from the Cowboys is defense. If I'm drafted, if I'm the Cowboys and I'm drafting this year or when the next draft comes up, I'm drafting straight defense. Just straight defense. But we all pick on Dustin. Don, that's neither here nor there. Nah. But seriously, like I feel like, you know, and I don't know how you guys think, but I feel like that's what they should. I mean, I would start with the edge and then work my way through the cornerbacks if I'm Cowboys drafted.
I mean,
that's our biggest need.
Just grenade the thing and start over.
Well, you can do that too.
Ownership down.
Oh man, look, can we just? I don't like to speak bad about people, but good God, man, come on. I agree. It's depressing.
Yeah.
But
that being said, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for playing along. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our content to you. Otherwise, we are going to get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll probably even talk about some sports.
Doubt it.